This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Cindy Harris. Welcome to the Photography Guild. This meeting of the Photography Guild is all about composition. Let's first start by talking about the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds exists because many of us have had a tendency to put whatever we're photographing right in the center of our viewfinders. That can be very effective, but many times it just starts to look boring. The rule of thirds encourages us to break down our image into thirds, both horizontally and vertically, so that we end up with 9 squares. Studies have even shown that people's eyes, when they're viewing photographs, naturally tend to go to where one of the lines intersects, or they also like to follow along one of the lines. In this photo of the plumeria, I certainly could have put it right in the center of the shot, but by having it off to the side, it actually looks more graceful. The next time you're doing some landscape photography, just try putting your horizon line along one of those horizontal lines. See what happens. One of the most effective ways to make your digital images more interesting to the eye is to change the angle that you're shooting from. Most of us tend to photograph our subjects by using the straight ahead point of view. Experiment with a low camera angle like I did on this pumpkin. Or point your camera up to the sky like I did when I saw these glass globes that were overhead. Surprise is an important part of good photography, so use your camera angles to create some really interesting compositions. If you like to photograph animals, consider doing an eye-to-eye type shot. It lets you enter their world and get a glimpse of what life looks like from their angle. Well, the rule of thirds does say to keep your subjects off center, but sometimes just having something straight on down the middle and using symmetry can be very effective. So here's an idea. When you're photographing something, take 2 shots. Have one shot using the rule of thirds and have everything be very asymmetrical. And then on the second shot, break the rule of thirds. Use as much symmetry as possible. You might be surprised which shot you actually like better. Another fun thing to keep in mind as you're out in the world is look for pattern. Also, have a look at texture. There are some beautiful things in the world that have some amazing textures to them. Look for lines in your world. They can be a really powerful element in a photograph. Here's another composition idea. Fill the frame. Fill your viewfinder with whatever it is you're photographing. One last composition idea is called framing. Now, many of us put frames around our photographs after we have them printed, but what if you had one in your photograph? Start looking for doorways, archways, windows. Even out in nature, a group of trees can start growing together to create a frame. You can really get some beautiful shots with an internal frame. Here's your assignment for this month. Try photographing things at new angles. Then use the rule of thirds and have everything be asymmetrical. Then break the rule of thirds and have everything be totally symmetrical. Try photographing things that have texture and lines to them. Try filling your viewfinder frame with your subject. And lastly, create a photo that has some kind of internal frame to it. So go take your camera and go spend the afternoon at a park or take a day trip somewhere and just go and have fun. Next time we'll be talking about aperture, shutter speed, and depth of field. For more information on this episode, go to our website and visit the Photography Guild show notes. Also, if you have any questions or ideas, send us an email. Thanks for watching.